Hello, Abraxas here, and I'm going to be playing some Universe Sandbox 2, so I have a suggestion from TLS, wondering what would happen if we made Earth orbit Jupiter, but in a polar orbit. Would that be stable? So I'm actually kind of curious about that, because from what I've seen, orbits are not really the most stable thing. They'll actually kind of gravitate towards the equator of a planet, so let's go ahead and remove the extra variables here. Let's go for the one without the Kuiper belt. Here it is. And let's just go to powers. It's been a while since I've done a time-lapse video, but this is going to be one of those videos. Let's go ahead and clear out all the planets that are not Jupiter. So let's go ahead and get rid of Neptune, Uranus, Saturn, Mars, Earth. Well, I think I just deleted. No? Oh, I deleted the sun. Yeah, we do need the sun, I think. At least I think that's a little bit important, so let's try to keep the sun involved. I'm gonna leave only Jupiter. So, now we want a polar orbit, but the question is, do we want a polar orbit that's facing kind of inwards towards the sun, or kind of outwards? Of course, 2 times a year, that's always gonna be correct and incorrect, but, where do we want to start it? I guess one way to do it would be to just kind of make it face towards the sun, if I can. This is going to be probably a little bit difficult. Let's just place Earth orbiting Jupiter. That should be stable. Let's go ahead and prove that it is. Okay, so no issues with that orbit at all. Let's go ahead and view the orbit map, make sure it's not eccentric at all. Perfectly round orbit. Okay, so perfect. Now, I should be able to change the inclination to... There we go. Let's just make it 90 degrees on the dot. Probably gonna have to manually type that in. Gonna have to manually type this in. So let's go with 90. Okay, so there we go. It's kind of facing the sun, but like I said, that'll be correct 2 times a year. So let's go ahead and hit play. And over time, I guess we will see what happens, see if the inclination actually decreases. Let's go ahead and select Jupiter so it's not freaking out. And let's go ahead and run a time lapse. I'll be back in about 20 or 30 minutes. Okay, so I'm back and it's been like an hour and that value has hardly changed at all. In fact, it's just spiked back up, so I assume that's not actually going to work. Which is interesting, because normally things kind of stabilize in their inclination when I see them orbit, but that kind of goes hand in hand with another suggestion that I got today. So let me just find it real quick. Yes. The suggestion comes from Daniyal Shah. I do believe that's how that's pronounced. I think they've suggested something before. Said I should add a moon sphere ring to a planet. I assume they probably saw the rings that were in the selection. And I've done this before actually, but let's go ahead and do that. So here's Earth. And this is kind of on a related note because it's kind of the same concept I'm talking about. You'll see what I mean. I think the only issue with this ring is possibly there's not enough I don't know, they're just not really rotating. No, they certainly are. But there is actually a ring called Moon Sphere, if I can find it. Ah, yes, here it is. And when I add this ring, it actually adds a circle of moons all the way around the planet. But if you watch, their gravity kind of condenses down to the equator of the planet as they all kind of collide. So let me go ahead and slow down time right here, and just hit play. So they're all starting to move. Let's go ahead and speed this up a little bit. Oh, those are some beautiful trails, but watch this. It doesn't stay stable for very long, and the moons actually start colliding and form like kind of a ring around Earth. Which, yeah, there's gonna be a lot of collisions with Earth. It's gonna be really havocy and messy, but eventually, if I let the simulation go for a very, very long time, theoretically there should be a ring around Earth. But, yeah, you see how they immediately kind of condense down towards the equator of Earth. I figured that would have actually happened with Jupiter, but that was a little bit anticlimactic. I found that a bit surprising. But there you go, that's what happens to add the moon sphere to Earth. It basically doesn't end all that well. There's actually a, I think, pre-built simulation of this. Yes, Earth and a sphere of moons. This one's a little bit more controlled because it's not orbiting around the sun. But as you can see, everything just has a tendency to kind of collapse towards the equator. Anyways, that's always a fun bit of destruction. I can't really let the simulation go for too long because I just don't really have the time to, but I would assume it would eventually, maybe, stabilize towards the equator. But I could be completely wrong about this. They might actually be able to maintain polar orbits. If anyone knows anything about this, like, I don't know, kind of physics or something, do let me know, because I'm kind of curious about it. Because this object is spinning, things would orbit around its equator, or is that just something I'm assuming and I'm completely incorrect about? I'm not really too sure, so do let me know down in the comments. Anyways, if you guys like the video, please leave it a like, and if you want to see more videos like this, please do subscribe, it really does help. And I will see you guys in the next one.